Over 2 decades ago, a young doctor from Pakistan arrived in one of the most unlikely places, a desert town in the heart of Australia known as Alice Springs. Now, a cosmetic physician and owner of one of the largest doctor-owned cosmetic clinic chains in Australia, he calls himself a successful migrant. Business, wealth, and a lifestyle building his new home as an Australian. 15 years on, he returns to Alice Springs, the town that shaped him, reconnecting with old friends, exploring the world's wonders, and tackling the difficult conversations that many choose to avoid. Housing, skilled and unskilled migration, and the weight of welcome. This is a Migrants Measure with Dr Ehsan Jadoon.
Yeah. Sure. So I grew up in Pakistan, as I've mentioned. My father was in the Pakistan Army. He was an officer, and most of my childhood was spent moving around in different cities of Pakistan in the military cantonments. So I don't know, the word cantonment is not used in Australia anymore, but back in the British Raj times in India, they had military cantonments. So after the partition in 1947, when after British left, that sort of structure of military infrastructure and cantonments stayed in Pakistan, and that's where I spent most of my childhood, growing up in different military cantonments.
Okay, so my friend Vic, he's on his way, and we are planning to go to the City Beach area for some breakfast. Normally on a Sunday like this, I get together with my friends, and we usually go for breakfast or lunch. Thank you. So with 2 eggs over there and with 1 egg over there. My favorite cuisine, obviously, after Pakistani cuisine or South Indian cuisine, my favorite cuisine would be Italian. I like Japanese, I like Thai, and also like Middle Eastern Turkish food as well. One big thing was growing up in Pakistan was we only used to have one television channel. We did not have Netflix and all that. So it was called PTV, and PTV used to play a lot of American programs and movies and sitcoms. And so growing up, I watched a lot of Knight Rider, Magnum PI, and programs like that that sort of made me aware of the sports cars and supercars. And Miami Vice came in the 90s, which was with this iconic white Testarossa. So those early influences on my life with sports cars and sort of Western lifestyle influenced me, that I decided that one day I will, when I can, leave Pakistan and experience that lifestyle in America or somewhere outside. Oh yeah, so today is a celebration for the Chinese New Year, and the Porsche Center in Perth, they organize this event where we are celebrating the Lunar New Year with all the red themed cars, and everyone is wearing the red clothes, and it's a really good way of bringing the community together and celebrating the Chinese culture and the New Year celebration. There's a big Chinese community in Perth, as you know, and they're very, very successful. They're a lot into businesses and things like that, and services industry, hospitality, there are a lot of them. So it's a fantastic way to bring all the community and multicultural sort of celebrations in, and Porsche has done a great job in doing that. So really, really enjoying it. Okay, so today we are at our Rockingham clinic. This is one of our newer clinics that we started back at the end of 2024. And yeah, so beautiful spot. This is, if you pan around, you will see there's a nice council parklands and stuff. And I'm just here to do some training with the staff and just make sure the clinic is being run properly. Come with me. After first few years in the Australian public health system, I decided that I wanted to get into general practice. But first year into it, I came across a couple of workshops in Queensland for skin cancer work and training. And during that time, I discovered that cosmetic medicine was becoming something that was offering anti-aging skin treatments. And I left my general practice training, and before that psychiatry training, and then got into cosmetic medicine full time. So I was the first
person in Central Australia to develop Central Australia's first laser and skin cancer clinic back in 2009. So I then moved to Sydney for about 2 years, and then after finishing my training with them, I then came back to Perth at the end of 2012, early 2013, and then that's when we started Metaesthetics at Hay Street in Subiaco as our first cosmetic clinic. And fast forward so many years, so 2013, and now we are in 2026, so last 13 years. We now have 6 clinics across Perth, and we are one of the biggest doctor-owned boutique cosmetic clinics in Western Australia.
I asked about that because she did that Rockingham Cup event, and I know that they did take a bunch of products with them. Whether they made sales on the day, I don't know. So we could just ask her.
Bree, top of the line person for this sort of thing. She knows, she can talk, she's very out there, and she is the right person. Would be slightly my second priority because of the accent.
Yeah.
Being in with her accent, a lot of people won't understand her. Even some of the staff members sometimes tell me that they don't understand the accent. So I think it would be better that we have here as a supervising role, but have more like proper Australian English speaking staff to answer the question, because we don't want someone with a strong accent to be at the front there who people can't understand. So we have to be mindful of that.
So when I was in the UK, one of my uncles who was a doctor, he had a friend in Alice Springs Hospital who was working there as an ENT surgeon. He informed my uncle that we have got a huge shortage of doctors in Alice Springs and the surrounds. And so my uncle mentioned it to me, and he said, do you want to apply for a job in Alice Springs? And I didn't even know where Alice Springs was. So I thought, where is Alice Springs? And he said, oh, it's in Australia and the Northern Territory. So yeah, I came to Alice Springs just because I was fortunate enough to have a job at Alice Springs Hospital as a junior medical officer.
To cover Dr. Jadoon's full story in Australia, I decided to accompany him to the central Australian town of Alice Springs, where he started his journey and which he considers as his hometown in Australia.
Okay, so we are in Alice Springs, right in the middle of Australia, Northern Territory. This is my hometown in Australia. I remember landing here in 2003, and this is like a flashback for the time when I first came to Australia. It's almost 23 years. I love Alice Springs. My heart and soul is in Alice Springs. This is like my hometown in Australia.
Okay, so we are just crossing through the causeway. Todd River is on both our sides. And there's a common saying here in Alice Springs that if you see Todd River flowing twice, then you should consider yourself a local. So I saw that twice back in 2005 and then in 2006 because we had quite a bit of rains at that time.
So I'm sure the white Australians see me as an outsider just because I am an outsider who has come here. And I think it will take a few generations of Australians to start seeing people from non-Anglo-Saxon backgrounds as Australians. So yeah, I'm very mindful aware of the fact that most Australians who are white background in Australia, they probably look at me and they think that, okay, he's an outsider.
61 in the chocky.
What do you think? You just need to have a bit more of a chiseled jawline to have. I feel when I first came to Australia, I came to this shop 25 years ago and I bought a hat. I had no idea that how
Try this one.
it didn't suit me at the time. Black one looks alright, doesn't it?
Okay.
What I want to say is, for those who don't know, there is nothing more Australian than an Akubra hat and R.M. William boots. Okay?
Correct. Correct.
Am I right?
Absolutely. Yep.
Fantastic. Done my Alice Springs shopping.
Oh, hello.
This is good fun.
Got your party hat on.
It's not a party hat, it's like a real Akubra hat.
Oh, very nice. That looks cool.
Check out my R.M. Williams shoes.
Oh, wow. You look like you're definitely on a holiday, that's for sure.
I'm in Alice Springs.
Oh, are you? Oh,
Yeah.
very nice. Yeah, here's the cowboy hat then.
Yeah, that's the cowboy
So
hat.
I don't see myself as an outsider anymore, just because of the fact that it's such a big melting pot. Because at the end of the day, we are all outsiders here. White Europeans are outsiders, as well as the recent wave of migrants like myself. We are all outsiders. So the good thing about Australia is that it's a melting pot. So everyone is an outsider. Everyone has come here from somewhere at some point in time. Whether it's the First Nations people, I'm sure they migrated from somewhere across the journey, which was thousands and thousands of years ago. And recently more Anglo-Saxon migrations or colonizing of Australia, and then the new waves of migrants from back in the 50s and 60s. I think it was Italians and Greeks, and then in the 70s it was Lebanese, and now it's people from subcontinent as well as Southeast Asia.
Yeah, so we are just heading to Central Australian Mental Health Services headquarters here in Alice Springs. And I want to see some of my old colleagues, Dr. Marcus Tabat, who was my mentor and my supervisor when I was a junior doctor working here. I saw Marcus last in 2010, so it's been 16 years. Okay.
Hello.
Excellent. Oh my God. Oh, really? Oh my God.
How are you doing?
I can't believe this. Oh, I never saw.
How many years?
15, 16, my God.
So the issues with unskilled migration is that there's a lot of resentment when it comes to unskilled migrants coming to Australia, because now common Australians, they see these people coming in and not doing the job they were meant to do. So the migrants coming to Australia who come on as either as students or skilled migrants, such as in IT or health or science, engineering, when they come to Australia, a lot of them are not doing what they were meant to do when they come here. Even after passing their university qualifications, they stay in jobs such as cab driving, Uber Eats, security jobs, truck driving, cleaning, those sort of jobs, rather than being skilled and working as a skilled person. So I don't want that to be the case in 5 to 10 years from now. I want anyone who's coming from anywhere in the world to Australia for higher education or as a skilled migrant, they should do everything they can to go and work in those fields.
So Marcus, remember when I was here, we always used to be short of doctors and skilled nurses in mental health in the hospital as well. So is it still the case? So what are your thoughts on that? Has it improved?
Our services, considerably expanded since you were here. If it wasn't for skilled migration, we wouldn't have a service.
Right.
So yeah, we have so many people from Africa, the subcontinent, and even New Zealand.
Yeah.
So we really actually rely on skilled migration to actually be able to sort of provide a service to the people of Central Australia.
So we are seeing people coming from, say, Indian subcontinent, India, Pakistan, Sri Lanka, Bangladesh, Nepal, Bhutan, who come here and they have no idea about how Australian way of life is, what are the cultural norms, what are the hygiene standards, how to write a CV properly, how to go to a job interview, how to dress up properly, how to have your hair cut, how to have your grooming. All those things are missing, which are resulting in this situation where people coming from those backgrounds find it very difficult to get into mainstream Australia and be able to be accepted into mainstream Australia, because they are completely foreign to this land, and Australians see them as foreigners and they see themselves as outsiders, and there is nothing that is being done to assimilate them in Australian society at a government level with a proper planned onboarding.
Do you think that for migrants coming to Australia, whether they're skilled or unskilled, there should be some sort of a program to integrate them into the Australian culture and society so that they can function here at their optimum? Or are there any such services available?
Yeah, that exists. And so here at MISCA, we're the body that does that for Central Australia. So
Okay.
if you come to Alice Springs and you want help to know what are the social norms here, how do I socially engage with other people, then you come here and we do social occasion dinners, we do meet and greets. You can come and meet new people, you can make friends, we can show you what sporting opportunities available, we can support you in writing a resume and getting a job.
Living and working in Australia for last almost 25 years, I wasn't aware of that. So that is something that you have brought to my knowledge for the very first time. So which means that a lot of people are not aware of these services, correct?
I think what's missing is that when skilled migrants come, that connection hasn't been made. And so the assumption is you're coming, you're a professional, you'll
Yeah.
figure out life, right?
Yeah.
And so you're not really guided to us and we're not guided to you.
I have noticed that in the last few years, there has been a huge amount of migration into Australia, which is putting a lot of pressure on the housing system, on available schooling, health system, infrastructure, road congestion, everything like that. So I feel personally that the migration at the moment is too much that Australia can handle. And the Australians who are now here, including yourself and myself, and people like us, Australia should be focusing on fixing the existing problems for us living here rather than bringing more migrants in.
Yes, the government needs to be really assertive in ensuring that there's enough housing and there's adequate housing,
Yeah.
right? But I think that lately we've had a bit of a hands-off approach, and are expecting everyone else to fill in the gaps. But I don't think closing the door would make that happen any quicker.
Yeah.
I think it's navigating how to do that in more an effective and efficient way. And so, for example, if we say no more migrants, our students would suffer because we have a shortage. So everyone is always hiring, and
Yeah.
we're crying out for more people to come help us.
Another question, which is a little bit controversial question because mainstream Australians may not agree with that, but I feel that a lot of refugee crisis around the world is created by the very policies of the Western developed countries that they implement towards the developing countries in Africa, in South Latin America, in Asian subcontinent, which then creates environments in their own countries, instability, terrorism, corruption, and all that, that then forces people to migrate from there because they want a better lifestyle, they want better opportunities for themselves and their families. Do you think that people actually do want to migrate if their own countries are stable and prosperous?
When there's the biggest form of geopolitics, right? Geopolitics. So the biggest form of income that governments are making is selling ammunition, right?
Yes.
And
The military industrial complex.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so when that exists, then of course the smaller countries are going to be exploited, and it's not going to be safe for everyone to stay.
Absolutely.
And so people have to flee. No one wants to flee. No one chooses to be a refugee.
Yes.
No one chooses to be displaced. But it's a circumstance in which you have to go for your own safety or you're going to die.
Yes.
And so people are here trying to better themselves and give a future for their kids.
Yes.
If it wasn't for that, people would be back there fighting for a better country for the next generation.
Exactly.
Oh yes, so we are on Stewart Highway from Alice Springs going down to Ayers Rock or Yulara. So yeah, it's a beautiful historic landscape, as you can see.
After accompanying Dr. Jadoon through Central Australia, meeting his old friends, colleagues, and witnessing his genuine appreciation for the landscape and community, I came to understand how, over 25 years, he had developed a deep and lasting connection to this part of the country. Through this experience, I began to understand that a sense of belonging is something humans can develop anywhere, that emotional ties to landscape and community are formed through connection, community, lived experience, and time, rather than birthplace alone.
So, of course, when you leave your own country, you miss your family, you miss your friends, you miss your culture, you miss your food, the social fabric that you have. But at the same time, I was quite excited and motivated to experience a completely different lifestyle that I grew up watching on television and movies. So it was, yes, I was sad, but at the same time, I was quite excited and looking forward to the new lifestyle and what that would bring. And when I landed in Alice Springs, I was like, whoa, this is back to Pakistan sort of situation in the deserts of the Sindh and the Balochistan area, because there were no high rises, nothing there. So I landed there and it was really, really hot. The wind was quite hot and I was like, oh my God, I think I have made a really bad mistake, big mistake. So I went to the hospital and I met the HR people and I said, look, I think this was a mistake. I'm going to have to go back to London.
So here we are at the magnificent Ayers Rock, also known as Uluru, and have a look at it. It's the most magnificent things you will see that exist in the nature. I have seen many other things, but this is one of the most spectacular things right in the heart of Australia. So I recommend every Australian should come and check it out at least once in their lifetime.
Australia has a truly unique and diverse history, from the time the first humans set foot on Australian soil to the arrival of the first fleet. Australia's culture and landscape have been continually shaped by those who have called it home. While much of Australia's present and recent past has been influenced by those who primarily arrived here from Europe, its future will most likely be written by an even more diverse and multiracial population. Seeing Dr. Jadoon's connection with Central Australia, as a white Australian, I was surprised to see how someone who wasn't born here and came here as an adult has built such a strong bond and emotional connection to the part of Australia most Aussies haven't even seen.
This is like one of the most beautiful things you can witness in real life. Unbelievable. I think it looks more spectacular than any man-made thing in the world. No Burj Khalifa, no pyramids, this is it.
And the lady there in the HR department, she was lovely, she was very nice. I still remember her name, Judy Martinez. She told me that, look, you are here already, we have paid for your relocation and flights. Why don't you stay here for 2 weeks? And if after 2 weeks you don't like this place, you can go back. And I said, okay, that's fine, I'll stay here for 2 weeks. And then that 2 week turned into a lifetime, so I'm still here.